Welcome to Shomach Shov on the Daf Shir Passul Loinish Pasam Yakashom Le'avas Yitzchok. We're holding Basra Daf Samich Vov. The Gemara in this Daf mentions the idea, the concept of Mayim She'uvim. A mikvah should not have water which was drawn by a kli, only that was gathered either from the rain directly or it went on the ground. The Gemara here mentions the Mayim She'uvim is the Rabbanon. A big machlekes rishonim, the Rashbam and Toises over here. Does it mean that all Mayim She'uvim are the Rabbanon? Or, as the Rashbam holds, if the entire mikvah is Mayim She'uvim, then it's Eisur D'Oraisa. Let's be me'ayin a little bit. What is this idea of Mayim She'uvim? What does Mayim She'uvim here represent? The Rekanti, in the end of Parshas Mitzoyo, gives us a little bit of a direction. He brings the name of the Mekubalim. Now, the idea of Mayim She'uvim is that we want to connect to water that comes directly from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mayim She'uvim represents water which is not directly by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have your water which was used by another force. An Adam took out the water. You want water which is connected, is as natural as possible. Because you want it to be completely tahor, completely pure, coming from above. That's why water that stands on its own, or that it came from rainwater, that's connected to Gilui HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rainwater, as the Rekanti points out here, we mentioned in Maseches Tainis, the whole idea of rainwater is that water is coming from Mayim Elyonim, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from Shamayim, connecting down here to the ground. So you have your shaykhs to Mayim that goes straight from Hashem. And the Rekanti, we know the halacha is that if the water was shov, but you put it into pipes and you let it be nimshach, you moishach the water, it becomes tahor. Why? Because the pipes also represents the tzinoiris elyonim. It's me'ein dugma shomala that you have hashpah come from tzinoiris. We want to represent that we are bringing water directly from above, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this connects beautifully with the famous Nekuda, the Chinuch says, the Mitzvah Kufa and Gimel. He says, Dir al dech al tzad pshat. But I heard this pshat from my Rebbe, Ramosh Shapir, it sounds several times, explaining that that's the main inyan of mikvah. And what's the idea? The idea is like this, Dr. Chinuch. The idea of a mikvah is that when a person goes into the mikvah, is as if he's being recreated. Why? Because the world used to be all water. The whole world was called all water, whatever that means, but the way the Torah presents it, the way the Torah describes it, is that the world is kulei mayim. The idea of the mikveh is that a person goes back to the beginning of the world. He's being recreated. That's the idea of the mikveh. The person goes and as if he's being reborn. He's going back to the beginning of creation. Ramosh used to add to this, is the mocker, what's brought down in the Achronim, that the ikar tevila of the mikvah is when you go out of the water. Not going into the water, because according to the chinuch, only when you go out, that's when you have the actual tahara, that you were being reborn. Going into the water is going back, so to speak, to the womb. You have to come and be reborn. So if you connect the Rekanti, the Sefer Chinuch, comes down in Nifla Ma'it. Because the whole idea of the mikvah is to go and mevatel yourself and go back to the beginning of creation. So the water needs to be as much as possible pure water coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, without any yad odom, without a human being being involved. Because as much as a human being is being involved, you take away the whole effect, the whole concept of what mikvah is all about. And just to end this nekudo, we know that in Sukkot, what was the big simcha of Sukkot? The big simcha of Sukkot was to take the Mayim She'uvim and put them al gabei hamizbeach. That's what it's called, Simchas Beis HaSho'evel. And Kayadua, Rabbi Bechai brings the Medrash, the famous Medrash, that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu split the Mayim Elyonim and Mayim Tachtonim, he split, so to speak, the world, that there is a place above there in Shemayim, that's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak. And down here in the world is Mayim Tachtonim representing human being. So the Mayim Tachtonim were crying, it says, we want to be with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why we're far away? HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you'll come back. You'll come back with the Mayim She'uvim that we do in Sukkot. When you put the water al gabei hamizbeach, that's a connection back to above. According to what we learned today is mamash nifla b'yaser. Because Mayim She'uvim represents that it's a human being's ma'aseh. It's not from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The whole idea of a mikvah is to go and mevatel yourself and go back to the womb, go back to creation. But the whole idea of Sukkot is that we're coming after Yom Kippurim, after the time of Tshuva. And we're going back and we're saying that human being with all his flaws is also connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kayadua, in the name of Vilna Gaon, the whole idea of sukkah is one of the only mitzvahs that you can be mekayim with your whole body. With your body, you're doing a mitzvah. With your body, you're doing kedusha. So it's so meduyak. If Mayim she'uvim represents where Yod Adam is involved, that's why Davka, the tikkun is that the Mayim she'uvim go al gabi hamizbeach. We spoke here very shortly, dvarim hamukim, it's kedai to be mizboinen in them. Anyone who wants to join Shomachshava email list or WhatsApp, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.